This is Community Conversation. I'm Dale Gaertner, and we're going to be talking about a special program that's going to be coming up, and it's going to be right here in Adrian for a lot of people to take advantage of, and that is the Road to Restoration. And I'm happy to have on the program with me Abygail Venman, who is the director of the Road to Restoration with the Michigan Department of State. Abygail, thanks so much for being on the program.
Thank you for welcoming me. I really appreciate it.
We also have in the studio Lynne Punnett, the Manager in Community Resilience for Prominica Adrian Ebeid Neighborhood Promise. And Lynne, it's so good to have you back.
Thank you. We are so thrilled to be here to talk about this great opportunity.
Well, let's go ahead and just talk about and explain what the Road to Restoration is all about. And maybe just kind of give the background, if you would, on that, Abygail.
Absolutely. So the Road to Restoration is a series of clinics produced by the Michigan Department of State around the state of Michigan each year, where we hope to provide information and resources for folks to restore their driving privileges and get back on the road safely and legally. We try to make it a one-stop shop, if you will, of information for folks who maybe aren't sure what steps they need to take to regain their driving privileges, or maybe whose licenses have been suspended or revoked. So we bring in experts from the Department of State, volunteer attorneys, incredible community partners, and try to provide information to residents so they can take those steps that they need to regain their driving privileges.
Okay, now we're going to mention where it's going to be held, but we'll also mention it at the end of the program as well. So, Lynne, this is going to be held when and where?
This is going to be held Thursday, July 31st from 11 to 3 at the Ebeid Center, which is located at Comstock, 801 East Maumee, here in Adrian. And we really are encouraging appointments be made ahead of time. Abygail will talk about how some walk-ins are welcome based on capacity, but we are encouraging people to make appointments at michigan.gov/R2R.
Okay. And there is a little bit of fees involved, which I'll have Abygail talk about, but to come to the actual clinic itself.
Yeah, there are some fees, but Abygail, why don't you talk about those and go ahead.
You bet, yes. So participating in the clinic is free. However, it is not an expungement clinic. So folks that have, fees with the Secretary of State or fines and fees with the district courts, they will still be responsible for paying those to regain their driving privileges. But participating in the clinic and coming to the clinic is free. One of the things that residents can do when they attend the clinic is to purchase their driving record, which is $16. And that's a really helpful tool so that residents can understand what is on the record, what actions they need to take, and kind of what may be preventing them from regaining their driver's license. So that is something that folks will have the opportunity to purchase on site, but thanks to the incredible generosity of community partners and Lynne's excellent work, there are some sponsorships available for the first 100 residents that attend the clinic on the 31st.
Yeah, that's made possible because the United Way first stepped up and said, we'll take care of 50. And then the Stubnitz Foundation so generously said, we'll pay the next 50 for people who are not able to cover that $16 fee. We don't want that to be a barrier to anyone coming to this clinic.
Yeah. Now, Abygail, from what I understand, this is just to more of a information type deal. This doesn't really expunge anything on their records, right?
Right. So when a resident first arrives at the clinic, they are welcomed in and we get them started in the back end of our system in their appointment. Or if they're a walk-in, we kind of get them registered in the back end of our system. From there, they'll have the opportunity to visit the mobile Secretary of State, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is everything a brick-and-mortar Secretary of State does, but on location at the clinic. It's an incredible resource. Residents, when they visit the mobile office, will be able to, again, obtain that driving record. From there, they'll have the chance to meet one-on-one with experts from the Michigan Department of State to review their driving record, to really understand what is there, what needs to be addressed, and, again, what is preventing them from having their driving privileges. And then after that, they have the opportunity, if they would like, to meet with a volunteer attorney. We'll have several on site. Again, if residents are looking for insight or maybe some advice of additional steps that they may need to take, There will also be a few community partners on site that will, again, be providing more information. Organizations like Michigan Works, 211, Nationwide Interlock, they'll be on site as well to provide information on interlock devices. And depending on a resident's pathway through the clinic, they may pop around and talk to folks a couple of times, depending on what their needs are. But our goal when a resident finishes their time at the clinic is that they have taken as many steps as they can toward regaining their driver's license on site with us, and that they know exactly what steps they need to take upon leaving the clinic to get their driver's license back.
And last year, we had people leave that day with their driver's license, and we had people who knew what they needed to do when they left in order to regain their driving privileges. So, it's just highly impactful.
Yeah, for sure. Because I can just imagine not having your driver's license and then trying to, do things that you need to do. And that's basically the reason for having this, right, Abigail?
Indeed. Michigan is a driving state. Folks need to get to work, get their kiddos to school, go to the grocery store, the doctor's office, you name it. We drive. And so not having a driver's license can really impact that. And so the idea is that we want to, again, provide information, get folks back on the road. Some residents maybe haven't, looked at what is keeping them from having a driver's license for several years. We've had instances where residents it's been a couple of decades since they've had a driver's license. And so I think one of the really helpful things about coming to the clinic is that it's a very welcoming, comfortable environment. Our goal is just to provide information and meet the residents where they're at, and then work together to see what needs to be done to get them back on the road.
Which I think is a neat thing, too, is that to be able to get that, as you mentioned, Abigail, for those who might not have had a driver's license for at least a couple of years, whatever the reason may be, you're not there to judge, are you?
Absolutely not. No, our goal is to really, again, meet residents where they're at, look at each resident's individual pathway, because every resident's needs are different depending on what has happened in their driving history and kind of what their next steps are. And so by attending the clinic, we're hoping to provide that very personalized experience, that personalized information, so residents know exactly what they need to do, what phone calls, what visits, what appointments, what have you, that applies to their particular experience to make sure that they can get their driver's license as quickly as possible.
I want to just say that maybe the people that are listening right now don't have this need themselves, but they may know someone,
yes.
Right? So we're really grateful for this opportunity so that people can tell other people about it, right? Just spread the word about this clinic and what a difference it can make. Because many of us know people, even if we're able to drive.
Right.
So let's spread the word.
Yeah, and that's the whole idea, too, is to make sure that those who don't have those driving privileges, wherever it may be, Abigail, to get those back, to be able to do it like you said earlier, go to work, number one, or number two, to medical appointments, or like you said, be able to take the kids to school.
That's right, indeed. And as Lynn mentioned, we're grateful for the opportunity to speak with you today and just try to get the word out. We have clinics that happen across the state, but this clinic in Adrian on July 31st is really the only time this season that we'll be in this part of the state. So we're really hoping that anybody who has questions about their driver's license or maybe isn't sure exactly what they need to do, we always encourage folks, come to the clinic. Maybe you'll hear something you already know, but, the chances are you might hear information that's new or that might be helpful to your particular circumstances. So we just want to encourage anybody who thinks that they might be interested to come to the clinic.
Now, again, we talked about the fact that it's probably advantageous to go and register, right, Abigail?
Indeed, yes. We have a system on our website where folks can make an appointment ahead of time. As Lynn mentioned, the website is michigan.gov/R2R. That's the letter R, the number 2, the letter R. Folks can go there and make appointments. If folks are in a circumstance where they may be not able to make an appointment online, they can also call 211, and the incredible folks there can help make an appointment on the phone. Or if folks maybe aren't quite sure what their schedule is, but the day of, they're able to swing out and see us, we are hoping to welcome as many walk-ins as we have the capacity to do so. The clinic, folks with appointments, the clinic will run from 11 until 3, and then we're hoping to welcome walk-ins starting at noon, and we'll squeeze as many people as we can to the clinic because we do want to provide information and resources to as many folks as we can.
This is a great resource, Lynn, to be able to offer to the people here in the Lenawee County community.
It is. We're so thrilled to offer it at the Ebeid Center located at Comstock. And it isn't just the United Way or the Stupnitz Foundation. One of the very early supporters was our own Lenawee Community Foundation, who gave us a grant to do promotion and really get the word out about this clinic. And of course, Michigan Works is going to be there that day. And we don't know what fees people may have that are owing, but there is a possibility that Michigan Works might be able to cover some of those. So people should really take advantage of this and come. And, don't let fear keep them from coming. It could change their life. And I remember last year, one gentleman was just so thrilled because he was going to be able to visit his children again.
Oh, wow.
Once he had his driving privileges restored. And it was very touching.
Yeah. And I know that, Abigail, that there's a little bit of a hiccup when you're applying for a job, that, they ask if you have transportation. And if you say no, that could be a stumbling block in getting that job.
You're exactly right. Having a driver's license is a really key part of life these days.
Yeah.
And so we want to make sure that anybody that's a barrier for them, we're trying to, again, provide information and next steps and trying to smooth that pathway a little bit more so that folks can, get new jobs, do the things that they want to do and live an even fuller life than they may already be doing.
That's right. Again, this is going to be when and where, Lynn?
This is going to be at the Ebeid Center located at Comstock, which is 801 East Maumee Street here in Adrian, on July 31st from 11 to 3. Again, appointments are really encouraged, but there will be walk-ins starting at noon as capacity allows. And people can go to michigan.gov/R2R or call 211, or they can call us at the Ebeid Center located at Comstock at 264-1365 to schedule an appointment.
Again, that phone number once again?
264-1365 is our local number.
Okay. Abigail, is there anything that we haven't covered that we need to mention that I kind of looked over?
Just, thanking Lynn and her colleague D'Angelo for making this possible. We are grateful to our local partners who help connect us with the local community, provide physical space, and just make these clinics possible. So thank you so much, Lynn.
You are welcome. It's our pleasure.
And, Abigail, this is a great thing to be able to offer. Thanks for the the Michigan Department of State to be able to provide something like this here, not only here in Adrian, but for Lenawee County as well. So I appreciate all the work that you and your staff will be doing for this.
Thank you so much, Dale. We are grateful for the time today and your incredible program to get the word out. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. My guests have been Abigail Venman, Director of Road to Restoration with the Michigan Department of State, and Lynn, thank you so much as well.
Glad to be here.
And Lynn, of course, Lynne Punnett, the Manager of Community Resilience, Prominica, Adrian, Ebeid Neighborhood Promise, here on Community Conversation, talking about the Road to Restoration here. That's going to be in Adrian. This has been Community Conversation. I'm Dale Gaertner. We'll talk again soon.